Hey everybody, welcome to Verified Investing. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. In today's video, I want to deep dive into silver, which has just surged above a key trend line, possibly marking a major breakout for a leg higher to the $48 to $50 range. So without further delay, as always, folks, it's all charts, no BS here at Verified Investing. Let's dive right in. All right, so here's your daily candle on silver today. And again, beautiful push to the upside, trading just below $41 per ounce. Now, the kicker here is this, folks. There was this longer term upsloping trend line, right? And again, this trend line goes all the way back to January of 2023. And what we could see here is that over and over, silver would tag this trend line and get rejected, right? So again, just going through this, you had the high point here in January of 2023, the next high in April 2023, the next high in May of 2024, and the next high in October of 2024, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 hits of this trend line. Then you touched it briefly in mid-July and then late July, each time getting rejected. But this time is different. Now, one of the key principles of technical analysis that I teach is that the more you hit a trend line, the more likely you break through it. In other words, the more hits on a trend line, the weaker it becomes. And so what we know is if price keeps hammering and hammering and hammering on the trend line, it will eventually, at least probability-wise, strongly favor a breakout or down. In this case, out, right? Because it's an upsloping trend line, price hammering on it from the underbelly. And that could be what has happened here. Finally hit it enough where we're getting a push through. Now, I say could be because I would really like to see confirmation. The trickier thing here is that upsloping trend lines are a little harder to maintain the breakout on. And so for me, for sure, I want to see not just a daily close above, but also a confirming candle. And confirmation, the confirmation signal, essentially simplifying it down, means that we have a secondary higher close than the high of the first candle breakout. And the idea there is it's very hard to fake out price when you get 2 consecutive higher closes on a price or on a chart. All right, so this is a very good sign for silver that it may be breaking forward. The key here is looking at the bigger time frame to see where this could head up. And I just went to the weekly chart. And we can see here, by the way, look at the beauty of this chart on silver. This was a classic bullish consolidation period right here. And look at that. I mean, this is just absolutely gorgeous. All right. So we're going to, I wasn't intending to break this down and do more teaching, but let's get right into it. So you had this big bull move on silver from $11 at the COVID low, essentially $11.75, all the way up to in August of 2020. So just over a year, silver went to about $30 per ounce. And you can see that monster move, COVID low, August 2020, right? So what did we see after that? And by the way, it wasn't quite a year. That was only about 1 month, 2 months. Yeah, basically 2 months period, right? But the idea here is that you got a bullish consolidation period here. And look at how it was a perfect parallel. You can see here, down sloping trend line hits there, and finally hits here, pulls back and breaks out. And then notice the beauty of how charts work. A resistance level, once it's broken, right, breaks out here. What does this line become? It becomes technical support. And look at how it hammers over and over again, creating, again, you've broken out. It's trying to break below, but it can't. And then eventually what's path of least resistance to the upside. And look at how the lows align perfectly with that parallel as well. And same sort of deal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, breaks out on the 7th hit, consolidates, and goes higher right there. Okay, so same sort of principle. The more hits on a trend line, in this case, a downsloping trend line is even more ideal than an upsloping because, again, inevitably this line keeps going down. So it really favors the breakout and the continuation move, which is what we've seen. But that wasn't really what I was going for showing you here. It's just something that popped out on the chart. The other thing here is what we want to do is just very clearly see that you're now in this kind of melt up phase in silver. And silver does have a small resistance around 44 and a quarter right here. Again, I don't know if you guys can see this, but basically it's your prior high to your $50 hit. Okay, so there will be a little bit of minor resistance here. If we were to go to straight to 44, $44, 44.50 or so, I would expect a quick pullback or consolidation, and then one final push up taking us to this $48 to $50 upside level. And the reason I say this is a key level on silver is because if we go to the monthly chart now and we zoom out even more so, and we can see right here, and again, look at this, guys. I mean, just remarkable on the chart. But this is the 1980 high was at $48. The 2011 high was at just under $50. And so that's where I'm getting my $48 to $50 upside target. Is very simple, just taking that range, and I'll put in kind of, we'll take a trend line here and we can drag it up. So this now becomes the range of where you're expecting ultimately silver to go. Okay. So again, silver has lagged gold for quite some time. Arguably, silver is now in the lead. And that makes me, again, near term thinking it's going to play catch up to gold to the upside. All right. So gold, as we know, has gone up from, 2000 to 3,500, almost 100% in just really the last year or two. Silver has lagged its historical comparison or comp to gold. And again, the idea is it is now getting close to this melt up period here. And you can see that same trend line we were talking about earlier on. But now we can extend this out. It has its eyes set on this level here. All right. So again, what are we looking for here? Number one, we have a bullish potential breakout. And again, we're waiting to see, does it confirm to really solidify? If it confirms a breakout on silver here, then you're likely headed to $48 to $50. Might be a small pullback in at around 44 to 44 and a half on the price of silver. This is a pretty remarkable kind of thought process chart. And the reason why I like it is it tells us something about these industrial metals that have lagged gold. If silver is doing this, what do we think palladium and platinum could be setting up to do as well? Another opportunity possibly for a long trade. So very, very key here to monitor. Again, gold is trading higher at the same time as I'm doing this on silver, but gold has not broken its all-time high yet, although it is borderline. But again, silver's obviously pushing up stronger relative in just the near term. I mean, listen, silver's still lagging longer term, which gives us that opportunity for upside, right? And continuation. But near term, silver has now really shown that it's breaking its recent highs substantially, and it's been trending with making higher highs, while gold for really the last 3-4 months has been just chopping sideways, which by the way is bullish on gold too. Don't get me wrong. That's a bull flag. But silver near term for a move up to 48 to 50 looks very, very likely, while gold again may lag in the near term, though could play catch up later on. All right, guys, just wanted to get you this latest update on silver. Extraordinary price action here. As always, folks, come visit us at verifiedinvesting.com. I run smart money commodities and miners, where I trade commodities and miners in that service, as do miners out there. Get our exact entries, our exact exits, and videos pretty much daily. Wonderful day. Take care.